Whoa, I look very goth today. Hey guys, welcome back to Mishmas. Today we are going to be playing with the new Gucci foundation. I just received it in the mail. There is a very serious message on the bottom, signature required. So let's go ahead and open this up. Of course, I am ill prepared and can't find scissors. What is new? Hopefully I got the right shade. Oh, oh wow. A little bag, interesting, okay. And another little bag that the foundation is in. So Gucci just came out with this new foundation and they also came out with a new primer. I didn't pick up the primer because I just don't think it's something that I would use. I already have my favorite primer, as you guys know, but I did want to try this foundation because it sounded lovely. Let me see if I can get into this bag. What is going on? Oh, it's knotted. The box is wrapped in some serious plastic. The packaging on this is extra and the plastic is taped down. All right, so it was very, very hard to decide which shade I should pick up off of the Gucci site. So I picked up 160N. I almost picked up like 120N or something, but if you go onto the Gucci site and you kind of flip through the pictures, the model that they had modeling the 120N looked like paper lily white. So I decided to go up a few. So I hope this 160N works for me. This is a natural finish fluid foundation, and this is categorized as fair, which is maybe too light for me, but we'll see what happens. And strangely enough, I am most curious about the scent of this foundation because I have found that all of the Gucci products have a very interesting fragrance to them. In the lipsticks, I don't mind. In, I think, was it the powder? I found the powder, yeah, the actual pressed powder. I found that to be a little much, a little overwhelming. So I am very curious about the foundation. But here's what the bottle looks like. Nice glass frosted bottle, nude pink kind of cap. And this shade actually looks like a pretty good match. So let me shake this up. And then while I'm applying it, I will give you some details of this foundation. But just to give you some background on me and my skin, I am 47. I have dry, I used to always say dry sensitive skin. My skin isn't necessarily sensitive, but it is eczema prone. So I do have a very, very busted up barrier. And it is very, very dry. It's always been very, very dry. It's not a result of my age. And my personal taste, while I try and put them aside for, you know, when I do reviews, I do prefer like a light medium coverage foundation. I like foundations with, you know, like a skin-like natural kind of radiance to it. I don't necessarily need something that makes me look extra special glowy, but those are my personal preferences. All right, so I'm gonna pump some out onto the back of my hand. I do have all my skincare down, so I do have, you know, toner, lotion, serum, oil, and then SPF. So all of that is down, and it's pretty much, you know, kind of sunken into my skin. The SPF I probably put on about a half hour ago, and we are going to be doing a full day wear test. It is 7:30 in the morning right now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a check-in. I'm hoping. I kind of have a little bit of a crazy day. I'm hoping I can do a check-in, most definitely in natural light if I can. If not, I'll just come back at the end of the day and show you, you know, what's going on and what's happening. So here is the pump, and the texture seems very lotiony. It doesn't seem runny at all. And does this have an SPF? No, there's no SPF in here. So I'm just gonna apply some to this side of my face so we can kind of do a comparison. I have this lovely blemish here that I just can't seem to keep my hands off of. I keep picking at it and it just won't go away. All right, I'm using my Clé de Peau foundation brush, and this is the angled one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this in. I mean, I think the shade is okay. It's a little, yeah, I think it's okay. I was gonna say, I think it's maybe a little bit yellowy, but now that I've blended it out, I think it looks all right. And you know, the fragrance isn't that strong. It's there, but it's not overpowering. It's like a floral. It's like a floral. It's actually not that bad. Okay, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm just going to blend this in and give you some detail. So I did purchase this off of the Gucci.com site. It is $68 and it is supposed to have a natural finish. It's supposed to be suitable for all skin types, lightweight, long wearing. It comes in 40 shades, non-greasy blurring effect, comfortable hydration, adjustable results. Let's see. Apply using the fingertips to achieve a light coverage with a subtly blurred and silky smooth finish. Continue to build for full, perfectly blended coverage. I don't find when I applied foundation with my fingers that I necessarily get a lighter coverage. I prefer a brush. So we are sticking with the brush. I think this brush is doing actually a great job. I wouldn't say the coverage is light. I would say it's a light medium because the redness on this blemish that I can't stop picking at is definitely like dampened a little bit. I do have some sunspots here that I feel like, you know, are camouflaged a bit. And you can see a very distinct difference between with foundation, without foundation on my forehead. My forehead is very tan compared to the rest of my face. And if it was a light foundation, light coverage foundation, you wouldn't see such a difference. You know, it would blend a little bit better. But yeah, I would say this is a light medium. Let me take a close look here. So I feel like it looks pretty good on like the majority of my face, like around my eyes, right here in my cheeks. I'm having a little bit of issue right down here. I do have a little bit of texture there and I feel like it's kind of picking up on that. It's not bad at all. It's just something on close inspection I can see, but even I'm going to zoom in here. You probably won't be able to see it, but it just looks a little bit clingy right here. It looks good on my forehead. Like I mentioned, I do suffer from eczema. I did a lot worse when I was younger and I would get it on my forehead and it would leave, you know, a little bit of scarring or whatever. And sometimes foundations don't sit right on that skin, but this actually looks okay. Okay, I have a little bit left on the back of my hand, so I'm going to see how buildable this is. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this amount right onto my cheek area. Well, it definitely blends in nicely. It definitely builds. I definitely see a lot more coverage going on right here, especially over that blemish. And I was worried, you know, adding another layer of the foundation onto this part of my face would, you know, continuously emphasize the texture or make it even worse. It looks the same. It looks the same. I'm going to zoom in again. I don't think it made it worse or better. I think it just looks the same as the first layer of foundation. But the coverage is definitely buildable. So they do say this is a natural finish. I think it's a little bit on the less radiant side. I would hope that my natural skin has just a little bit more radiance than what this is giving. I wouldn't go so far as to call this like a matte finish foundation, but it's a teensy bit flatter than what I would refer to as like a natural finish. Okay, well, so far so good. I'm going to go ahead and finish applying it to the rest of my face. So I used one pump of the foundation for that side of my face, 2 light layers, and I'm just going to use another pump for this side. I think this shade is a little light for me. I'm not a fan of that. It's like the perfect match for my neck, which I think is just too light. It's not natural. Of course, there's nothing really that natural about makeup, but I like a little bit more color in my base product. So if you are similar skin tone to me, hopefully you can use this as reference, you know, if you've purchased similar foundation shades to me. It is caking up around my nose a little bit. Let me see if I can blend that out a little bit better. And along with my forehead, my nose, I think like most people, my nose is definitely an area where foundation can act up. Yeah, it looks a little, I'm gonna try and zoom in here again, but it looks a little, I don't know, like not blended in well, like it's separating a little bit. So that is not great, but it does look very nice. Like this part of my face, I have larger pores here and I do feel like it's kind of smoothing those out, so that's really nice. All right, I'm gonna take just the littlest bit of this Gucci powder. I feel like this foundation needs to be set a little bit. Yeah, it still feels like a little bit tacky, on my skin, but again, because I have dry skin, I don't like to go overboard with powder. So I'm just gonna use just the teensiest bit and just set things down here. And in the powder, I have shade number 4, which I think is actually giving me a little bit of color. I don't know if you guys can see it, like a little bit of color, which is nice. All right, so there is the foundation with a little bit of powder on top. I'm gonna go ahead and like scan, go from my forehead down to my chin so you guys can get a closer look of everything. But yeah, I think everything looks really good so far. Like I said, especially around this area where I have larger pores, it really does look like it's fairly smoothing. The 2 problem areas I see are around my nose. I don't think it's sitting well around my nostrils, and I do feel like it's picking up a little bit of texture down here along my jaw area. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on, you know, just some light makeup. Again, when I'm doing these full day wear tests for the foundation, I wanna be able to really see the foundation. So I already put powder down, so I'm not gonna put any concealer down so we can see, you know, what the foundation is doing and not the concealer. But I am gonna put on, you know, a little bit of bronzer because I feel like this is a little pale, a little bit of bronzer, blush, and all of that stuff. So again, I'm gonna try and do a check-in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to, but in either case, I will be back to give you my thoughts. Hey guys, so bad news. This foundation is not wearing very well. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and so I thought I would just cut it short here. And I am sitting in front of my window, and so you're looking at me natural light, and I'm just gonna get up real close, so don't be alarmed. I'm gonna get up real close because I don't think you can see, but it just looks totally like powdery and separated and doing really weird things around this part of my face. I do want to mention I was wearing a mask for, I want to say about an hour. I had a mask on, so that may have contributed to this, but I've worn a mask for about an hour with plenty of other foundations, even ones that don't claim to be long wear, and they didn't really break down as badly as this one. I feel awful saying that, but it's just not for me. I do think that if you have normal to oily skin, you will probably have a much better chance of this foundation working out, because I just think it's just a little bit too dry. At least that's how it feels on my skin. That's how it's kind of behaving. It feels like it just needs a little bit more of like an oiliness there. And maybe if I had gotten their primer, it would have been, you know, a different story. But I had a lot of skincare down, as I listed off for you guys, you know, between my moisturizer and sunscreen and serum and oil and lotion. I had a lot going on, and I felt like my skin looked, you know, really radiant, very, very well moisturized. So I don't think this foundation is for me. It may not be for dry skin, and it may be better for normal, oilier skin types. So I'm sorry, I'm just doing another close-up here because I think you can see it around this nostril as well. You can see it. It just looks like it's just breaking up and doing really, really not nice things. I do also feel like on my forehead, it's kind of doing the same thing up here, where it's kind of breaking up and it's just looking really kind of dry and powdery. So yeah, I don't think it's just the mask. I think because it's doing it up here too, it just seems to be kind of wearing away from my skin that way. So I'm gonna wash it off now. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. But that unfortunately is my conclusion to my wear test for this foundation. I'm trying to think when I had it on. I think, did I start it around like 7:30? So it's about 4 o'clock now. So I have had it on for a fair amount of time. I think I have given it a chance. So anyway, that is it for today's Gucci foundation wear test. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.